Ahoy there, Elder Scrolls Legends fans, and welcome to DBN and Friends. This is an interview series where I chat with different members of the TESL community, be they streamers, casters, or tournament players, with the goal of allowing these amazing individuals to inspire the next wave of TESL content creators. You guys are going to absolutely love today's guest. She is a stalwart streamer, a consistent high ladder finisher, and an excellent tournament player who has won or placed in several events since 2017. So, without further ado, let's chat with Jele77. Welcome, Jele. Thank you so much for chatting with me today. You are a well-known streamer. You're an accomplished tournament player, but for anyone who may not know you, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, hey DBN. So happy that you have me here. Yes, I'm Jele77 online and IRL. My name is Jenny, and I'm a 42-year-old teacher, soon to be, like my birthday soon. And yes, what else do I do? I've studied art. I've studied computer science and art for teaching. And yeah, I do a lot of different stuff, and my life is like a little bit different, I feel, than like other people. Like I try out lots of different things, and yeah, try to be creative in my life, I would say.
Yeah, well, I mean that definitely comes through in your stream and in your interactions with the community. I have to be honest. One of my favorite things to do when I first start an interview with people is to kind of ask people how they fell in love with gaming. So if you don't mind sharing, like, what's your origin story when it comes to how you got to here?
I guess it's like, I don't know if that might be a typical story for females, how they fell in love with gaming. It's I don't know. So let's just tell it. It's actually like I'm married now, and in May we will be married for 15 years. So that's also,
awesome.
Quite a long time. And yeah, my husband is really a funny person. That's why, like, I really love his humor a lot. And yeah, kind of he always supported me to play. And so, like, a lot of times I watched him play some games. Then I was like, oh, okay, maybe I just don't want to watch all the time. Maybe I want to play myself. And so then I tried his games too. And otherwise, like, it goes way back when my father got his first computer. I was 16 at that time, and he got a computer at home and had some games, some point-and-click games, and I played them together with my sister. So gaming from the start was something very social for me. Like, it was not I sit alone in front of the computer. It was mostly like I'm sitting there with my sister. We try to solve these puzzles, and we had some other friends who were also into point-and-click games, like Zack McCracken and Day of the Tentacle. We played back then, and yeah, then we talked to them. They gave us some hints. We tried again, and yeah, so it was kind of like a really social process for me. And yeah, I came to card games because yeah, I had some free time in university, winter break, and I was like, I think I want to play some games again. Do you have something that I could start? And then my husband was like, yeah, here, try Hearthstone out. And then I tried it out and played like a lot. Like it came to like nearly every day. I did my dailies. I got better. Like, I was a really bad player at the start. I could get to rank 20, but then like getting to rank 19 was a real hurdle. That is like having more than 50% win rate. So that was quite hard. And everyone was playing mage, and I was like, no,
Oh man, yeah.
My Iron Sensei, and I make a mech warrior here. And my own deck with the cards that I've just opened, and yeah, that was really fun. So that was 2014, I think, when the mechs just came out.
Oh yeah, goblins versus gnomes, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's when I started with card games and played Hearthstone for about 2.5 years, and then I started Test Legends and did never play Hearthstone again until recently. Like I think 3 days ago, I opened my account back up. But yeah, so it's that's it. Like I think my husband is to blame. I'm really happy about his support and his influence on that. That he's like, yeah, he was always supportive in that way, and yeah, kind of like a fun role model.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you got started with Hearthstone. I hear that a lot. It's definitely like an interesting little. It's a bridge, you know. It's something that I've seen be like. People have been able to access all these other games because they get started with Hearthstone, which is so cool. That's what I did too. So I do want to ask, you got started playing Tessel. At what point did you start streaming?
That was in May, now nearly 3 years ago. So it was still during that time when I was playing Hearthstone.
Mm-hmm.
And I had, like I was saying that I was really terrible at the start, but I started watching streams and I started to get better. I put in some work with Hearthstone. I even I got friends from other streams, and we did do a group for testing and building stuff together and learning together, which was like a real intense group. Like no one of us was a pro, but we were like, we really did improve a lot through that. And then through the encouragement also of those friends, I was like, yeah, I kind of would have fun to start streaming. And then they were also really supportive. They were like, yeah, just try it out and figure it out. And then when I started streaming, I don't know, I just fell in love. It's just so awesome to have other people around that I can talk about the gameplay. I feel that I'm forced to explain things. That's how I learn the best, actually. I have to explain things in a way for my viewers. I have to talk a lot, and I think through talking, I really learn on a much deeper level for me, and that's how I think through streaming I could also improve quite a lot. Yeah, it was a bit of a tough time when you change your main game. Like Hearthstone was always my main game, to a different game. That was a hard decision for me, actually. I felt I let my viewers down, and I talked openly to them, and they were like, no, if you really love that other game, then you just have to go for it. Like, it's your decision. We want you to be happy with your stream and the games that you play. And of course, I lost some viewers. They don't like to watch that, like Test Legends that much.
Yeah.
But they are still around, and I can ask them for help anytime. So it's been a really good experience, but also a scary one. Like changing your main game on Twitch, like after you've streamed nearly 1.5 years.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Was not that easy. But on the other hand, like Test Legends was the perfect community for me. I cannot describe it better. I've talked about my age. I feel much more at home in the Test Legends community with how old I am, and much I don't know. There's much more connection also with the game. That the game is like on a more mature level. like there's more stuff to think about, and how the art also looks, and the whole game is designed.
Oh yeah, the art definitely definitely one of the strongest points of this game among several. I feel like that's really interesting. What you mentioned about switching games, and that's something that I know that there's a lot of probably up and coming streamers or smaller streamers that definitely have a fear of that, and they see themselves playing something else and having more fun, and they have a hard time reconciling that. But I think that's really great what you said, that ultimately like it's about what you want for your stream. So I think that's something that people could really find useful. I do want to ask, so at the moment I believe you're streaming Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, is that right?
No, it just had changed.
Oh, it just changed.
Yes, I'm streaming actually 6 days a week, but early morning EU times. That has changed a little. Like on Saturday, I've always streamed at that time, early mornings. But now it's like, every day from Monday to Saturday, except, I mean, there might be some other things that I have to do, then like a single stream might be cancelled and announced before. But I've been streaming this whole week.
So switching the time slot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
so
awesome.
7 a.m. EU time. So it's like in the middle of the night for Americans, and
I'll admit I was a little confused why I hadn't seen you recently on streaming. It's because I was sleeping.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. So that's really cool. People can catch you. You said 7, and in the European time zone. So I do want to ask, like, what is the focus of your stream, especially like what kind of things could the viewers expect when checking out Jelly Island for the first time?
That is actually hard to describe, because I feel that one of my main things is surprise. Like, there's nothing. Yeah, like so they can expect the unexpectable. There can be art. If someone is subscribing, I'm doing a quick drawing. You have like some kind of I have the jelly beans in my channel that you can collect, and you can use them to buy things. So sometimes I read a German fairy tale in German, just like 2 pages, while I'm playing on high ladder. But the main focus is still Test Legends. At the moment, I start every stream with Test Legends, and then I see where it goes. Like this week, I've streamed some Stardew at the end and Hollow Knight. I plan to also stream Path of Exile soon, because I really love Diablo 2, and I don't know, like creating a character, and I think there's like a lot of creativity in those games evolved, like how your character is growing up, and what you choose as the abilities, and what your challenges are. That is really fun to explore together in a stream too.
Oh yeah. No, I think the RPGs is something that that's something I've always looked at and be like, oh man, I love those games. It's always one of the, especially I'm really into the Dark Souls games, but that's a whole nother thing. I do want to kind of touch on the artwork. Right, so if somebody just tunes in, they're going to see a lot of original artwork done by you, whether it's in the panels or on your overlay. You do tons of artwork for the stream. You enter some of the Team Rankstar art contests. And then tell us, you touched on it, what is the special thing you do for subscribers?
Oh, yeah, I have some kind of diary for my stream, like since I got affiliate, which is like also nearly 2 years ago in July, and then I do a unique picture every month that is kind of like related to the stream. Let me check, for example, here in April, when Morrowind just came out, I did a picture, and then I write down every subname, bits, donations, like your kind of like becoming immortal in that book. I mean, I guess maybe immortal is maybe a bit too much to say, because like it might also just at some point like not be there anymore. But it's like, yeah, you will be remembered. And like, for example, here's the Island of Madness as well as a picture. And yeah, so every month is a new picture, and it evolves together with the viewers. So like now I have even you can buy as an item in the shop that you can say there's like a small thing that's also in the picture with your name on it, and yeah, like stuff like that. So it's a kind of like an interactive picture as well. Like it's not only my vision, it's like our vision together for that month, like things that we shared, fun fun things. Like this month is actually like it will be a really fun one. Like, you know, the card Pointy Wall of Spikes? Yes.
Oh yeah.
So it's a new card from the new set, and through some mud crab interaction, like we got a lost pants.
The stolen pants.
Yes, the stolen pants, and then someone in chat said, like, a really long-term viewer of mine, he was like, "Oh yeah, you're making a panty wall of spikes," and that is the picture for this month. So we have a panty wall of spikes as the picture for.
Oh man, so fun! It's
Yeah,
I've already
a lot of funs. Yes, that's
all
exact.
the,
A lot of funs in my, like, we have a jelly fan, we have jelly jars all around in my channel. So I love spontaneous puns, like with
oh
really
yeah.
fun about words.
And I've already gotten my my name on. I've already picked out my panty on the panty wall of spikes on as it's on the clothesline. It's so cool. So for those of you looking to check out Jelly Island for the first time, definitely go see all the fun stuff between the artwork and the awesome Test Legends play. And actually, I kind of want to transition into talking about that. So one of the things that you're pretty well known for is you do, and one of the things we've talked a little bit about before is you take a very serious approach to laddering. It's one of the reasons you consistently finish top 100, sometimes top 10. So I was wondering, for some of us out there who we get up to legend at the end of the month, could you share a little bit of wisdom when it comes to laddering and share some of that, maybe a tip or something that can help out with success there?
Mm-hmm. Yes, like I might be like one of the people right now who is really consistent in legend, because like we all have our lives and things, and then stuff come up, and if I finish top 100 this month, I'm in top 100 for a whole year.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been just playing this game like 1.5 years, so it's like that is quite a huge step. And usually, like, since the last month, I'm usually finishing top 50 as well. Like, it's I think the last 8 months or so. It's so yeah, I'm always up there. It's it has been a hard learning experience to get there. I think it's best if you're able to play all the different archetypes that are around. So usually we have, like, as a player, one favorite archetype. And I think it's good when you just start, like, explore that. What is your archetype that you love, and play one deck a lot till you have, like, understood how to mulligan versus other classes, how to play the deck. But then you really should change, and especially play the decks that you hate. Like, if there's a deck that always beats you, if there's a deck that makes you rage, play that deck. Like, be open-minded, see that deck also has some weaknesses, because I'm pretty sure you will most likely lose and see how others beat you. And that's how I got better. Like I watch my opponents very well
Mm.
and try to learn from them. Like when they outplay me, when I lose to them, I try to remember, oh, what was their strategy? Oh, that could work versus my list. That's really interesting. So yeah, that's how I could beat that deck. And then like as soon as I switch back to my favorite class, then I can like adapt to that play style. So that's why I also think it's good to like I felt I had improved the most in Hearthstone when I was finally able to reach rank 5 and then play versus the players that are usually also in Legend or close to Legend, and then like you get better because you see better plays. So yeah, I think try to challenge people that are better than you. Try to especially watch closely those games when you are versus really good players. And yeah, of course, like also maybe stop by in a stream of a good player and then see how they play and ask them what you can do. Yeah, so that's what like I think most of the things that I did, and then yeah, I think being in a group, talking with other players about your like about the game, what they play, play together, have some in Hearthstone, for example, we had some open matches, like we shared both our hands and played openly. And then I finally started to understand like, oh yeah, that is their game plan. I have to try to find ways to like slow that game plan down or like disturb it, and then execute my game plan on top that might change every turn because what cards hit the board. So that is yeah, one of the most important things. I think finding friends in the game to play against and to play with, and like trying to be open to play all decks that are around.
No, that's great. I think that like that's really definitely one of the hard things. You said play the decks that you hate to play against. It's so hard. I just played Hallowed Death Priest for like the first time ever last week. It did feel good though. It was like, yes, that's how I feel every time.
Parthenax,
I
get
did.
mummified. Now time.
It does. It does. It is definitely something really cool that you noted. Just that, like when you play against someone else, and you play that deck that you hate, you learn more about how to beat it. Like that's actually really really useful advice. So that's the kind of things you guys can expect if you check out Jelly's stream. So moving on, let's talk about tournaments. So you've actually competed in like tons of tournaments, and you've seen some great success in a few of them. You've won a couple. What is it that you really like about tournaments? Like, what is it that interests you about the competition? The way that things run differently in tournaments compared to like laddering.
Mm-hmm. That is true. Like I started playing tournaments also way back with that Hearthstone group again, and there were these smaller tournaments where you could just enter spontaneously on a day. There were usually like 2 each day at a certain time. It was kept to 32 players, and the prize money was win €2 in that wasn't even €2 because it was just like an amount in that platform that did the tournaments. Mm-hmm. And at some point you could maybe get that money, but not when it's €2. And so it was just more like for experience and fun, but pretty good that you had also different like LHS, the last Euro standing format, and Conquest and stuff like that to experience. And yeah, I just discovered that I like it a lot. Like I like the tension that comes with a tournament. Like you also, I especially like that I get to know a person a little bit more than in just one game. Like, for example, on the ladder, it's just like one game, then you face another person, and maybe at some point you face them again, but it's like, then you have already played a lot of games in between, and you don't remember every of your opponents. So it's kind of like, also compared to ladder, is more likely you need to have some stamina to play a lot of games and not care about, like, losing doesn't really matter. At some point it will even out. But for tournaments, you need to win like that series. Like, it's also like, it's okay if you lose the first game, no problem. Or in a best of 5, you can even lose the first 2, but then you can still come back. And I mean, that would be just a 66% win rate on the ladder, not that great at all. So you can actually lose more in tournaments than on the ladder and still win the whole thing. But yeah, I feel the single game in a tournament doesn't matter too much, but you have to, like, you get to know your opponent. Like, you see the first deck, like in Hearthstone, it was closed deck lists, so you could know what to expect. But sometimes you saw already, like, oh yeah, that is more like a lineup from a control player, and then they played their first deck, and then you did definitely know that, like, all of their decks were control. Or like when there was Hunter in the lineup, then it was usually like a Smorg lineup, and then you could expect like, oh yeah. And some, of course, were more like mixed types. They had just like a really good lineup overall, or just the best decks that they like to play, whatever. But yeah, you get to know that person after the first game. Even in, like, if you lost, like, you get to know their play style a little, and then like, I felt I could always gain like some small edges, like in gameplay, how I wanted to play versus that person. It's not that I would say, like, it's more unconscious knowledge, but that's how I feel in tournaments. And that's, I don't know, I just like it that you have, like, oh yeah, you play versus some, and it gets better and better and better till the end, and then yeah, in the finals, you have a chance to be on top of all and win the whole thing. That's a really good feeling. And the fun thing is, like, about me, yeah, like, I was encouraged by that Hearthstone group, like, yeah, just join a tournament. I asked my friend, like, oh yeah, how long will it usually take? And he was like, yeah, like an hour or so. And I was like, oh, okay, like an hour. I just try it, like, and like, let me say, like, he usually dropped out in the first round or in the second. So yeah, that's why he said an hour. And then I entered the tournament, and I actually won. Like, I won a best of 32 in my first try of a tournament ever. And it took like 4 hours or 4.5. And I was like,
that's not an hour.
That was like, yeah, that was a bit like, I had to cancel like put it 1 hour ahead. I was still ahead, but yeah, I had a something else to do, and then I had to say, like, oh yeah, I will be a bit of an hour later because I'm still in this tournament here. And yeah, so that was actually quite funny. And yeah, those were not, like, you didn't have like the top pro players, but at that time, I think I barely made it to Legend for the first time in Hearthstone at all. And in those tournaments, you could face like from between 200 Legend to, I think, like, yeah, 10,000, like Europe. If it was Europe server, it was like till to 10,000. And sometimes, of course, like also rank 5 or rank 4 people. So those were the people that played in that tournament. It was not like super professional, but still, like,
that's still very
I think from our
noticeable, yeah.
From our group, I was the only one. I managed to win a second one. Then later, like, it took me quite some time to win a second time. And I was the only one in our group who actually had 2 wins in those tournaments. And we tried to play a lot. Like, yeah.
That's awesome. No, I like there's definitely like that fun, right? Of it's a little bit more stressful. You know, you get that adrenaline flowing. Yeah, and I
It is
do.
more serious, more serious than letter. Definitely, like the players are super focused usually, and yeah, it's just like a really fun atmosphere, and you also get a lot of friends. Like you end up with a huge friend list, like from
Oh yeah.
casting and every like I might be like I don't know if I have like the most friends in Hearthstone right now, like over 300.
Wow.
Um,
Oh my
so
gosh.
yeah, like it comes like you get to know a lot of people and become their friends. You can spectate them. You like usually like we are really friendly. I can message them like and yeah, just
Yeah.
hang out.
There's definitely like a sense of camaraderie, I think, in the Tessel competitive scene, right? Uh,
Yeah, definitely.
and like
Like also in the casual scene, I think on Reddit, if people have questions about their decks or questions if their deck is good enough or what they could change, there's always someone to help them
oh yeah,
and like give
definitely.
them advice. That is like yeah, this community is really great in that regard.
It's true. There's definitely a lot of resources out there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a more hypothetical question here for you. We are pretty sure there's a new set coming out soon. There's been like some hints and some spoilers and stuff like that. It's not confirmed yet, but that we're sitting here. We've seen a card back, I think, or a pack art work and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
let me ask you this. What are you hoping to see in the next set? Pretty broad, but you can answer it however you like.
Oh, I actually I usually try to not have high expectations, like that I want a certain thing. Like, mm, I kind of would like I really love card draw, for example,
Hmm.
but I think we have already so much, and all the decks have gotten so fast. So I would, I don't know. I kind of would not like to see more card draw,
Hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah.
or then yeah, cards like for example Dark Seducer is a card that I really don't like that much
Hmm.
from the new set. I think it's like it's so powerful, and like it's one card that can like single-handedly win you the game when your
Hmm.
opponent doesn't have like a certain kind of answer. Like you need to have either silence or steal the keywords,
Right.
and I think
Yeah.
that's it. So it's like just like a small set of cards that can actually deal with that card very well, and otherwise
Yeah.
like it's usually like a 14 hell. Like usually you cannot trade just one creature or have a ward. Yeah, having a ward is
Yeah.
so nice. Then it will not heal, but or yes, if you have lethal,
Hmm.
then it's also might not heal that much. But there's like just like some awkward answers to it, and I feel it's like quite frustrating that you cannot deal with that card like with less good options. Like you really need to have like a few cards in your deck, and yeah, that is the kind of like I don't know
Like
this
looking for something that you're hoping for no more cards that create like these non games, so to speak, right?
yeah, like
Yeah.
where a single card hits the
Yeah.
board and then you just like you don't have the answer, and then you lose. Like you cannot have like a game plan that is like not optimal, like a suboptimal game plan
Hmm.
that kind of works. Like no, there's just either
There's just
this
one way to
really good
deal with it.
answer, yeah, there's just like a really good answer or no answer at all,
Yeah.
and that is like a thing that I don't enjoy so much
Hmm.
right now. But otherwise, yeah, I think um, I like the tribal idea actually. right now. We might
Yeah.
expect maybe more that like I don't know, like you can make maybe a wood elf deck and it somewhat comes together or works, and there's like I feel that is like a new level of thinking for your deck building that is yeah, different from before. Before it didn't really matter what
Yeah.
type of yeah, like your card was. Like you had decks with Imperials and like
And
lots of
Khajiit
other things
and yeah.
like yeah, the like just the best cards that made the decks, and this would be like I feel like it's a new layer of thinking when it comes to deck building. So that's definitely interesting. I
Yeah.
hope it's not getting rewarded too much, because it's also then quite
Yeah.
like
Like
more
old orc
simplistic. Like
like
yeah,
old orc aggro, yeah.
you just type all orc in your like account, and then you just click on all the orcs, and then you have like a viable deck. I think
Championship deck right there.
that would not be that great, but yeah, like to see some kind of synergy, like yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
It
interested in that as well, and maybe we can expect that. I think because I feel they are like trying with the monthly card, the training grounds.
Oh yeah.
They are
Hmm.
trying to push that a little bit. They also even mentioned it, like while they made another goblin for next month as the monthly
Yeah.
reward. So uh, yeah.
It does seem like something that Sparky Pants is really interested in, like with the Ring of Lordship and like you said, the training
Hmm.
grounds, and now they're kind of going back to goblins, which for a while, rip Goblin Skulk, but was viable at one point. Um,
Hmm.
that's awesome. No, there's definitely a lot I think that's going to be riding on this next set, and I think everybody's excited to see what they have to offer. Um,
Yeah.
what what I want to do now is I'm going to ask you a couple rapid fire questions.
Hmm.
All right. So it's just going to be quick question. We'll get through. I've got 5 of them here for you, just to wrap up the interview. Okay.
Hmm.
All right. So first, what is your favorite Tessel deck?
Battle mage, mid-range battle mage, because it's super flexible. It can be aggressive, it can be controlish, it depends on your hand. Every game is different. That's what I love.
Awesome. What is your
And
favorite color in Tessel?
um I think it's green. I like the flexibility of it, that you can switch between the lanes and have the lethal. It's quite powerful, but yeah, the cards usually don't have that much attack, so it's more like a sneaky game plan. Yeah, like but yeah, you also have some charge, and that's what I also like. Like it doesn't feel so passive sometimes, like playing a card, waiting a turn. So like you have some more yeah, interactive tools in that color.
Yeah, mine is green too. I fully agree.
Man, perfect. A score like 100% right now, or what? Now I guess your favorite deck is maybe a different one. Um,
Uh, yeah, I don't know if I have a favorite, but I do want to ask, what is your favorite set? So, of all the Tessel sets, what was your favorite and why?
oh, mm, oh.
It's a tough one.
That's yeah, like because for example, when I started playing, Skyrim was already out there.
Hmm.
Dark Brotherhood was out, so that kind of got mixed together for me. Like it's all like together with the core set, so it's not like that I was really thinking of the sets, like keep them apart.
Hmm.
I I think it's tough for me. Usually I say like, oh, this has some pros, this has some cons. I really liked Clockwork,
Oh, okay.
the Clockwork set, and I felt it was always like underappreciated. by the community. But yeah, those cards never like like the factotums were just like a little bit too bad.
Yeah.
So they that was a bit sad. But I was, on the other hand, quite thankful for that, because those are neutrals, and if you like make them too good and like there's like just only factotums, like with every color is still like all the factotums, that I think that would be maybe the end of the game. So that's like kind of like what you don't want to see.
Death by robos.
Yeah. So yeah, I really liked the Fallen Hero collection, kind of like the first set that I could really like where I had like a better understanding of the game already, and like was also maybe feeling like, oh yeah, I might have understood how this game works, and it's nice to have some new cards. And Houses of Morrowind was also really interesting. But yeah, I really also like the new set.
Isle.
Like Frostbark is really cool as well, with Sword of Inferno and Moose, and then like yeah, Isle of Madness has been actually the first time when there were like new cards coming out and I wasn't scared. Like in Hearthstone and in Test Legends, I was always like, oh no, everything will change now. I'm so slow. I will not learn, and I will be overwhelmed by all these cards, and so freaking out. And this was actually the first time I was like, yeah, I feel good with this. I can experiment. I'm not afraid anymore, and I just have fun. So
just confident going in. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's like yeah, kind of like I guess fear is an important part of me too, and that was definitely a thing. Like the unexpected, trying new things. That's usually fun, but it was also freaking me out a little bit and making me afraid. So I usually was not super happy with new cards announcements. I was like, yeah, give me still some time to learn all these, like, because I want to learn all the decks. Then like there's always a deck that I have no idea about that I want to learn. Like there's always new things for me to explore, like even with all the old cards and everything. And then I like like I feel more comfortable now to deal with a new card. Mm-hmm.
All right, so we have 2 more questions. What is your favorite individual card in Tessel of all time? You have to pick one card.
One card. Oh shit! And I haven't prepared for this. My favorite card.
It's tough.
Oh God!
If someone asks me this, it's like I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard. I need to. Just a moment. What a card. Like, I mean, I do enjoy a lot of cards, but what is the card that I think... Actually, yeah, I think... I mean, I mentioned my favorite deck, and I do really like Merrick a lot as a card.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a super random card, and right now with all the items that are just +1/+1, he might also be like a bit sad. But I think like he is one. He's definitely one of my most favorite cards, and I really would like to also see like the old Battle Mages back with Atromancer and doing some stuff.
Yeah, the old there was a short window where Atromancer, like Battle Mage and Mage were like good. It's been a long time.
Oh yeah. That was actually before Houses of Morrowind. Those decks were played in nearly all lineups. So that was mid-range Mage was really strong, as well as mid-range Battle Mage, and we had more mid-range warrior, but also like it already had catapults, so it was like it was already the aggro mid-range version and
Yeah.
sorcerer. So yeah, that's the thing. But yeah, also second card and second deck, like Necromancer is also really
Yeah,
Necromancer
really
is
good
a
card.
more random card, but like it can be super different in every game. Like
Yeah.
what you want to get back from your graveyard, there's like that is a really tough decision making. So that's a less of an RNG card, I think. But yeah, that's and
Well,
that's it too.
my
Haha, I tricked
my
you.
my old favorite got nerfed. It was this little green guy who gave me 0 cost cards, and now where is he? So my last question for you, and this is something that I want to start asking people. So when you are not streaming on a day, or you are finish up streaming and you're just relaxing, who is your go-to Tessel person to watch? Who is that go-to person in the community that you just absolutely love their content?
That is also a lot of different people.
Oh, I know,
so
and I don't.
Please don't. I'm hanging out in a lot of streams, but yes,
You can name a couple if you want.
yes. So for example, there was Ray Barker. Like I would be like wake up in the middle of the night to watch his streams. But yeah, sadly he isn't streaming anymore. And I say yeah, Turkish Link is like the favorite one. He's talking a lot about his thought processes and like he's just spontaneously building decks and just such a lovely person. I don't know, like it's really fun to watch him. And then like yeah, I watch them all and I love them all for different things. Like I'm in Azami Dwarven Ales stream a lot. Then Ian Bits. I'm in your stream. There's like yeah, and I especially enjoy smaller streamers as well. Like sometimes I, let's say, avoid the crowd. I'm not like I don't like too much to go where everyone else is. Like I'm
Yeah.
more rather in a smaller place with like yeah, just like a handful of people. And yeah, I really love like all our different communities as well. Like I'm definitely forgetting someone like yeah, Eolis and then Warrior7 when he comes back. Like I will definitely hang out there. Like we have a lot of streamers. Racy is sometimes still streaming Test Legends as well, and yeah, it's a really great community.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Jelly, thank you so much for chatting today. It's been really fun. We've gotten to learn a lot about you and your stream and your thought processes about Tesla. So thank you so much for sharing. We're going to link it below, but for everybody who's watching, Jelly, where can we find your content?
Yes, it's www.twitch.tv Jele77. So it's like JELE77. There's where I'm found most likely. I do have a smaller YouTube content about like YouTube channel about some tournament games, some casted games, but it's not my main focus. And yeah, and my Discord, of course, like the Discord is an important part. Like if you want to like get to know me better or be in contact, the Discord is the go-to.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, everybody. We hope you enjoyed watching DBN and Friends with Jele77. Thank you so much, Jelly. Thanks so much for watching this episode of DBN and Friends. We had an awesome time talking with Jele77. Hope to see you guys next time, but until then, don't forget to check out TeamRankstar.com for more awesome Test Legends content.